Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we're going to take a look at a song off Chicago's second album, the first one where they were actually called Chicago. It came out in January of 1970. It earned a nomination at the Grammys for Album of the Year. Ended up with 3 top 10 hits, and 2 of those top 10 hits are in this piece that we're going to look at today, which is called Ballet for a Girl in Buchannon. This was written by James Pankow, the trombone player, although most of it is sung by Terry Kath. In particular, the hit singles are. Robert Lamm has a little bit in there, too. So this is made up, actually, of 7 songs. But the 2 that people will know are Make Me Smile, which was a big hit, and Color My World, which was kind of a slower piano ballad hit. 2 major hits for the band in the early days. So I happen to have a copy of the album. I'll just show it. I know a lot of people know what it looks like, but this, for those that don't, there it is. See, somebody wrote their name on it. That was common for the 70s. The pack was the same thing.
You didn't want people stealing your records.
Yeah. Got all the credits in there, handwritten, which is kind of a standard thing that Chicago does. And it also came with a poster of all the guys in the band. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
They did that a lot, too, in the early days. They would put posters in the albums like this. There's 7 songs total on this thing. Make Me Smile, So Much to Say, So Much to Give. Anxiety's Moment, which is instrumental. West Virginia Fantasies, which is instrumental. Color My World. To Be Free, which is instrumental. And then the finale, which is kind of going back to Make Me Smile, but it's called Now More Than Ever. So that's the whole thing. It's 13 minutes long. And I thought we'd take a look at it today with them playing it at Tanglewood in 1970. Right at the height of their powers. So, Adrian, you know this song, right?
I don't know it very well. No, to tell you the truth.
Well, why don't we go ahead and take a look at it then?
Okay.
It could be interesting. Maybe this is your first time hearing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they would play it. I mean, back in the early 70s, I remember hearing it on the radio a lot, maybe even part of the 80s. But, it's 13 minutes long. So that's pretty much unheard of these days. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and check this out. So that's Robert Lamm.
Well, this next thing we're going to do is was written by Jimmy Trombone. Jimmy Trombone. It's the real name is Ballet from a Girl in Buchannon, but most people, I guess, know it by Make Me Smile.
Terry Kath, an amazingly underrated guitar player even now.
Yeah.
Danny Seraphine on the drums.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic player.
Children play in the park, they don't know I'm alone in the dark, even though time and time again I see your face smiling inside. I'm so happy that you love me. Life is lovely. When you're near me, tell me you will stay, make me smile. Living life is just a game, so they say. All the games we used to play fade away. Now we may enjoy the dreams we shared, so of joy touch the sky. realize just what you mean to me. And now that you're here, promise your love that I've waited to share. In dreams of our moments together, color my world with hopes of loving you.
Well then.
All right. Excellent musicianships. Fine brass section too. How many times do you hear me saying that?
Yeah, no, they all play. Did you notice they play independently? They play really strange lines, but they work. You know, I mean, sometimes they play together, yeah, but a lot of times they're just diverging in a coordinated way, and it's really cool. I mean, gosh, yeah.
There were a lot of themes in that song.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they had the 7 separate segments, and then there were things within some of them. Very jazz, really, jazz rock, you know.
It really starts out as a serious boogie. And then it kind of takes on another personality later on.
Yeah. You know, this was recorded in August of '69, so it's kind of the middle of the experimentation era for rock music, and even pop and jazz and other things going on at that time, you know. It was a big time for change. That was the same month as Woodstock, as a matter of fact. So just to give you a reference. Yeah, so the name of the guys in the brass were Walter Parazaider, or I'm probably got his name wrong, sorry about that, James Pankow, and Loughnane. So those guys, yeah, they're fantastic. I mean, if you're going to have a horn section in your rock band, I mean, those guys, you know, are a real good choice.
Yeah, horn sections, usually I equate that with the 80s, but I mean, this is really different in this one, and it's not the 80s, obviously.
Right. As a matter of fact, they're one of the first pop rock bands that had a horn section along with Electric Flag, as you know, and Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Now, there are debates about who was first. I mean, I think Electric Flag was first, but in terms of this band,
Same here.
but I mean, this band the horn section is playing totally different stuff than what you heard on Electric Flag, which was kind of more along the Stax vault, like Otis Redding and, you know, that kind of a sound. But this was something else. So, Adrian, have you heard that entire piece before, or was that your first time hearing the whole thing?
This was my first time hearing the whole thing, and it's definitely not a headbanger. You can't bang your head to it because you don't want to. You don't want to listen to it.
You know, yeah, it gets tough. It's hard to even dance to in a lot of those parts. But I remember at the time you would hear those 2 hit singles that are in there all the time, and maybe to the point that it really oversaturated the radio, and people started looking at it. Oh, they were so commercial, you know, they're just writing the hits. And then you listen to it now like this, and you're like, no, actually, this was pretty innovative.
There's a reason why they were hits.
Yeah, particularly in that time, you know, where people listened more, you know, and they could handle something with a lot of changes and still like it. A really wild accomplishment, frankly, this album. Now I think a lot of people take it for granted. Oh, and fun fact, or not so fun really, there was a fire at the studio where this was recorded, and which also housed most of Chicago's masters for all their albums.
Oh my God.
And this was the album that got lost. Arguably their very best and most popular album in a lot, or at least on the early days. They had some big hits later, but that's the album that even members of the band were like, oh no, why that one? So when you buy a CD of this or hear a stream, what you're hearing is what they had on the Safety Master. So the original multi-tracks are gone forever. So we're never going to get, you know, a nice new clean mix of the album. But luckily, they did a pretty good job in the first place. The Safety sounds pretty good, you know, for the most part. They could probably make it sound even better now. But yeah, that's the story of that album and that band. They definitely had some stuff to pay attention to back in their very early days. And yes, they did very well in the 80s as well. Kudos to them. They're still touring. I think there's like three original members left, which is not bad considering that's now 55 years ago, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So power to them. Somebody had requested that, and I thought it would be a great idea, and I really appreciate the request. I've never seen that before, and it's been a long time since I actually played. I should really play my album more often, but you know how it is. It's always something new to listen to. So, but thanks for that journey down memory lane, and Adrian, I'm glad you got a chance to actually hear it for the first time.
So am I.
Yeah. All right, folks. So if you have other suggestions for us, you can please leave those below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. Of course, leave your thoughts on the record too, you know, on the song too. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right. Take care, folks.
See you all later.